What it do, man? First and foremost, love. You feel me? Beyond that, bro, y'all see where I'm at, so let's get it. American Civil Rights Movement. The American Civil Rights started in the mid 1950s. A major catalyst in the push for civil rights was in December 1955 when the NAACP activist Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the public bus to a white man. And I'm sorry, but my wife brought something out to me very interesting about that point. At the time, you have to consider that day Rosa Parks did that. Uh, there was no cameras, bro. There was no fame she thought she would be getting per se. I mean, Rosa Parks actually was more of an activist than we give her credit for. She was in the NAACP. She worked with the Black Panther Party, so she was a rebel at heart, right? So this was right up her alley to do. But she wasn't doing this and thinking, oh, 50 years from now, one of my descendants will be talking about me as he make a video on an article that mentioned me because this movement, this move is going to be that important. You feel me? It wasn't for the fame. It was sincere, and therefore the fame came. It's like something to take in and grasp because I understand that, I'm not really listened to out here. And so maybe, just maybe, I'll be appreciated after I'm gone. You feel me? Just nuggets, bro. But we gonna keep it pushing. So, and actually, that answers the question: when did the American Civil Rights Movement start? Right? And that's when Rosa Parks refused. That's so they say when she refused to get up, to give up her seat to the white man on the bus. Right? So then, just gonna go through these key points because I feel like these questions that we don't know, or some of us don't know, and it's been a while since we looked at them. So why we need to know ourselves to be ourselves. You see what I'm saying? So who were some key figures of the American Civil Rights Movement? Okay, okay, we know Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. Ah, ah. When did the American Civil Rights Movement? What did the American Civil Rights Movement accomplish? The American Civil Rights Movement broke the entrenched system of racial segregation in the South and achieved crucial equal rights uh, legislation, right? And I mean, y'all know I could pull out a soapbox on that. But okay, what we can say though, what did the American Civil Rights struggle do? It opened up immigration for the world. So if you want to know what it did for me as a black man in 2023, keep it 100, not much. It made me realize a lot of things about a system that wants me to see something else, right? It made me see how my people have always had to fight, and we tried to fight. It's not that we don't want better. It's somebody that refuses to give us better. And maybe deeper still, we need to do better with someone else. You know what I'm saying? But let's go. Civil Rights Acts. You can read more about that at Civil Rights Act 1964, hallmark of civil rights movement. All right, but I'm gonna keep going with this one. What were some major events during the American Civil Rights Movement? The Montgomery bus boycott sparked by the activist Rosa Parks. They love to bring up that. It's so much more going on in this time, but we're going to keep it pushing. Was an important catalyst for the civil rights movement. Another important protest and demonstration included the Greensboro sit-in and the Freedom Rides. And right there, if somebody was like, "Hey man, you know what that about that Greensboro sit-in?" What would you say? So let's click on it. Act of nonviolent protest against a segregated lunch counter in Greensboro, North Carolina, that began on February 1st, 1960. It succeeded. Its success led to a wider sit-in movement organized primarily by the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee that spread throughout the South. And you have to ask yourself, as a people sit here, face dogs, water hoses, all types of hate, fiery crosses, getting kicked off land, seeing loved ones killed, murdered for just the dumbest stuff. Even nothing at all. And for people to actually have such a fight in them that they want to fight, but they trying to show you something, bro. I'm not on that energy, bro. I am the human here. In the face of all this violence, bro, I'm a fight, but I'm a fight non-violently. I think that speaks like more than anybody has ever actually sat down to actually think. How are we the criminal, the robber, the wrong, when in the midst of so being so wronged for so long, we yet seek peace? I think you got to think about that one. But yeah, that's the Greensboro sit-in, right? We're gonna go back because we talking about civil rights. But yeah, you know, why not use a chance to take a nugget and run with it? Where we at? I think we were here. Yeah, and the freedom rides. So then I'm not gonna go into that one, but Greensboro sit-in, right? Example of civil rights include what are some examples of civil rights, right? What examples of civil rights include the right to vote, the right to a fair trial, the right to government services, the right to public education, and the right to facilities. The trickery in those words, bro. But okay. Okay. American Civil Rights Movement. Mass protest movement against racial segregation, discrimination in the southern United States that come to national prominence during the 1950s. This movement had its roots in the centuries long efforts of enslaved Africans and their descendants to resist racial oppression. Long efforts of enslaved Africans and their descendants to resist. Interesting. And abolish the institution of slavery. And what's funny about that is essentially we failed. And we only failed because we stopped fighting. Because, if anything, there's no less amount of slaves than it was in the 1950s. If anything, there's more slaves now. Hell, they done broadened their horizon. You feel what I'm saying? And I think ultimately the issue is boys are fighting the wrong thing, aka, asking the wrong questions, right? Um, Although enslaved people were emancipated as a result of the American Civil War and were then granted basic civil rights through the passage of the 14th and 15th Amendments to the U.S. Constitution. Anyway, struggles to secure federal protection of these rights continued during the next century. The next century. You feel me? So you gotta understand in two sentences they said, hey bro, we wrong. We know we wrong. Because you wouldn't be trying to reform and all that if wouldn't be a whole civil war. But at the same time, somehow the evil prevailed. And that's things we gotta look at, bro. Like that's a thought worth thinking. How souls sway. And so, you know, segue to the most high. But I'm gonna keep it rocking, right? Through nonviolent protests to civil rights movements of the 1950s and 60s broke the pattern of public facilities being segregated by race in the South and achieved the most important breakthrough in equal rights legislation in African Americans since the Reconstitution period of 1865 through 77. Although the passage in 1965 and 64 and 65 of the major civil rights legislation was victorious for the movement, right? PR, like it looked good. By then, militant black activists had begun to see their struggle as a freedom or liberation movement, not just seeking civil rights reforms, but instead confronting their enduring economic, political, and cultural consequences of past racial oppression. Right? And see, when you're trying to follow what they say, you can kind of keep up a little bit. Cause see, what he said is the black people at that time wasn't satisfied with just having civil rights, the right to vote, the right to have food stamps. You see what I'm saying? No, bro, we want to be free. We want to be out of here. How about you give me the right to go back where you took me from, or at least let me know that door is open, right? What I do with that door is up to me. But for you to have me here and tell me, okay, well, I'm gonna put you in the playpen and give you a couple toys, and yeah, you should like it. I'm gonna feed you on time, I'm gonna change your pamper. I ain't gonna never show you how to potty train yourself, but I always change your pamper on time, and you should be happy with that. At one point, us as black people understood that wasn't the wave, bro. There was no thank you for that. At one point, what has happened, I don't know. But actually, I think what has happened is we ain't went nowhere. Because I wouldn't be sitting here talking like this, thinking like this, if they won. So I said we lost. But we ain't done yet. So, let go. Yeah. Furthermore, one thing I wanted to bring out real quick was I read nonviolent again. It's right here. Through nonviolent protest, right? And then we can go back up to the Greensboro sit-in where they chose to be nonviolent. Now, we know that they went on. We've been reading at this point, so they fought. I'm trying to look for the quotes instead of just talking, but I guess I'll talk them. Y'all gonna remember when I bring them up. We fought for the next century. There you go. So they knew they was wrong. Then we end up having to fight to prove it and make them say, okay, we wrong and we gonna change it. We gonna do something about being wrong. Like, it's one thing to say, I'm wrong. It's a whole nother thing to say I'm wrong and I'm going to do better. See what I'm saying? Um, and so it took a century for these people to even begin to look like they was even wanting to think about have a whole bill, right? HR, whatever, to talk about it and look at it and gather some numbers, right? But my whole thing was through nonviolent protests. So today, bro, let's keep it 100. I'm talking to humanity, bro. Y'all see what we've been going through. Ain't nobody ignorant to the plight of the black people, right? So let's say, not saying we should, because it's not necessarily smart, because we I don't know how that would end. But let's say if we were to be mad enough to go to war with these enemies of ours, to not be so non-violent, bro. Who could blame us, fam? I want him to come before me and tell me that he blamed me then. Because we've been non-violent, right? My parents have tried to play by y'all rules. My grandparents was robbed by the very same system that knew they did their parents wrong. Made them sharecroppers. Their parents were slaves. And I sit here, bro, as somebody that live in this system who I've never been to jail, right? But still I'm failed by the very same system that told me my whole life I could be whatever I want to be, bro. Lace up my bootstraps, work hard, and it'll work out. Bro, I work hard, bro. I get it in. And I'm in the hood. So let's say if I decide to stop being so nonviolent about it, because obviously being nonviolent don't get us nowhere. Again, who could blame me for it, bro? And right there, bro, I think I'm going to let it rest. Let me calm down, man. Trying to... You feel me? But no, for real though, that's just thoughts, man. It's something worth thinking, bruh. And understand I live with those thoughts. Y'all better pray the Most High be with me. But, abolition of Jim Crow. Uh, and uh, the fact that we went from all this, right? All of what we went through just to fall ourselves into Jim Crow. So we went from slavery, right? Like timeline kind of slavery, kicked off the plantation. Had to figure it out. No tennis shoes, no food. Kicked off the plantation. Figured it out. Took our land after we figured it out, our houses, because it was more developed. And you know what I'm saying? Didn't want to do it yourself, whatever. Took that, right? So now we got to figure it out again. In the meantime, being lynched and discriminated against and lied upon in every which way, form, and fashion, right? For whatever reason, we decide to say, man, you know what, bro, we need to come together with y'all and we need to do business. Because honestly, I think the black man's mind at one point was, let me show these people that I am a human. I can prove to you how human I am. You feel me? I'm more human than you ever thought I would be, right? Not realizing that you was arguing with a fool. How wise is that, right? But anyway, from that point, we got all this going on. We end up sharecropping, right? My grandfather was a sharecropper. My mama's daddy was a sharecropper. See what I'm saying? My daddy's daddy went to war for this country. You dig? But okay. From there, my mother has 2 or 3 college degrees. Very smart. Has always played by their rules. Right? Working to this day. She's 60 something. The system won't even let her retire. Look at me. I'm her child. And this system looks at me like I'm the scum of the earth. You know? I know what y'all think of me. I know, like, I hear what these politicians and these media persons like to say about a person such as myself. Like I'm some remedial, something straight out of stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have a life and I ain't even looking. And that's fine. The whole point is to go through all that, right? I kind of skipped, but then to have to deal with Jim Crow, shadow slavery. Like, come on, bro. And then to tell me I ain't got nothing to talk about today. But I bet not forget 9/11 or Pearl Harbor. Y'all can eat, bro. Y'all can eat a dick. Ain't no other way to say it. You don't understand my plight or where me and my people are coming from. You can eat a dick, bro. And that's the best way I can put it. Moving forward. I can get into all this. We see after Jim Crow, we went through a lot more. You see it? Nat Turner, Frederick Douglass, just some names I'm looking at as I'm going through. You see where I'm at? You want to look at the article? I encourage it. Come look at it. And then they love to bring him up. You know that he actually did that not for black people. He wasn't looking to free nothing or nobody. He was actually looking at it as it's a PR move, and it was kind of keep the American people together because it was a division going between, you got some good white people who was like, bro, man, this ain't right, and these people, we're the brute beast here, bro, come on. And then you got the evil, defiled white people who are just hell bent on following the devil's plan, and they like, bro, I don't really care about none of that. We make money, we making billions of dollars, free labor, stop playing. Wicked, right? And so Abraham peeped that, and so Abraham was like, you know what? Emancipation Proclamation. Because ultimately what that would do is make the country be able to move forward as one instead of separating into two. It was business, bro. He cared nothing about none of that. But they like to put him on this high horse as if he's somebody that we should be thankful to. Now we're going to praise the Most High because it's only the Most High who got me in 2023. You get me? Real spill. But okay. I feel like stopping on him just because that's that bull crap. The narratives that they try to sell ain't the truth. Like they'll never tell you that Abraham also signed off on giving the people who owned the slaves reparations. Also, he signed off on giving them education on how to work their land since now they don't have the slaves to work the land for them. You see that? How much money is that? How far did that set the dollar back at that day? How much did that hurt the economy? You feel me? Like all these different things they try to say why reparations ain't been given this way. Well then, I mean, y'all have done it before many times over. And it didn't matter then. But for some reason, for my safety, for my lineage, my generational wealth, for my mental stability, all this trauma that no one cares about. You feel me? All this wrong that no one cares to fix. It doesn't matter. I gotta think about the bigger picture and everybody else. I don't care about nobody else but me and mines, bro. And I feel good saying it. You know? I don't care, bro. What your agenda is, what you fighting for, go fight for it. And me and mine's gonna fight for what's ours, bro. miss me with all that extra stuff, bro. I'm really not. It's not about being hateful, bro. It's about being at a point to where I see I don't have no friends out here, so my friends are in my house. But I'm kind of ranting, bro. But yeah, Abraham is not what they. Abraham Lincoln. You feel me? I don't even like the fact that his name Abraham. I never said just Abraham. I always say Abraham Lincoln. I didn't realize his name. I don't like that. But anyway, I'm ready to ride, dog. I'm really just venting, bro. Just kind of going through at the same time. Hope y'all getting nuggets, man. You know, reliving. You know, this is history at the end of the day, which makes it a fact. You feel me? Um, you still talking about Lincoln. See how they try to go in and elaborate on Lincoln. This a whole page about Black history. Anyway, Du Bois to Brown. Salute Du Bois, man. I know that boy was boule. He repented though. I pray I die in repentance, and I pray Yahuwah receive it. So, you know, what Yahuwah did with him, I don't know. You got Booker T. My brother went to Booker T. Washington, but, you know, there's more to Booker T than that. But that man got a school after him. So just imagine what he did in the challenges of Jim Crow. See it? Again, W. Du Bois, yeah, he alright. He alright because of how he ended. You feel me? I think also he did a lot to harm us because he was in the NAACP, you know, working with them brown paper bag boys, and so he had a lot to repent for, and I can imagine he cried. You feel me? For sure. Um, so many different people, bro. We're beautiful, we're rich people. The point in bringing this out, there's a lot of different points to be honest, but I guess I just felt like talking about black people, bro. I feel like right now we're at a time in history where so many different boxes one can put itself into, and ultimately, bro, there's only two truths that's always been true about me. I'm black, but more than that, I love the Most High, and I love what He made, and so it's like an added bonus that He made us first, and He loves us first, and so all that is just fueled in my love for not only Him, but for myself, and thereby my people. And so this is knowledge that I hope my people can use, that their iron may be sharpened and not snuffed out. You feel me? I could keep reading. I really don't want to bore the people, so I'm just kind of going through the article. I'm looking for the end, bro, but that's how much, you feel what I'm saying? And this is a snippet. This is a snippet, bro. This is a collection of synopsises. You feel what I'm saying? Um, oh, Black Panther, meet Cointel. Anyway, man, I'm gonna let y'all ride with that, man. Love y'all, bro. I did it wrong.